you're looking for after all the time that you spent you say good.
Ah, I like
But
my
now you're
work.
supposed to be like this is supposed to be like yeah.
Nothing.
What's
Eh,
this? What's
me.
this?
You don't know
Nothing
me.
to buzz.
Oh, uh, um, well, where the Luckily and
Oh, they'll
Yeah,
leave.
we've
oh,
Yes, that's why I'm running around this
that
week.
time of the year.
But back to our old format. Sorry, 1 second.
that's nice, but
There you go. Right, thank you very much.
Arts.
Thank you. My advice
Valentine,
to know
you
to
should
keep it
try
West African.
copy this one.
I don't understand.
It can be a look. By the time you laugh now, but in the future,
Copy and look. I mean,
please
start
take one
something.
step
should
and the
grow my
ground goes
hair.
bang.
Start something.
And you
Make
take
a
another step and the ground
statement.
goes down.
Don't make it
Be
statement.
setting trends, man. I am cold, though. Your jacket is inside there. You don't want to wear your jacket. It's just there
Oh,
for decoration.
there's nobody to bring
To
it.
warm it up. Oh, okay. Welcome to like the old days.
I
People have been
cannot live
spoiled.
like this.
You know, Valentine was like, my God, like this girl. I said, okay.
So,
People have been living a lavish life. Like, that's how things have
been
always been.
chilling.
Next time, please treat like with me and don't say with respect and love.
They should get out, Joe. I
Okay.
will replace them now.
Don't say it too loud, then they'll now not come back.
I will get somebody else. Two other people.
It's not as disciplined, shall we say,
Yeah.
as the international window for the male team and things like that. But they're making their preparations. For me, what I would like for them to challenge themselves is not just being the best, having a target to be.
We should go beyond bragging.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Well, yeah, something should, but you know. Let's move on now and talk a little bit of tennis. So, Karen Kachanov caused one of the shocks of the tennis year by overpowering Novak Djokovic 7-5, 6-4 in the Paris Masters final to end the Serbian's remarkable spell of dominance in the men's game on Sunday. Djokovic was expected to celebrate his return to world number one on Monday with a record-extending fifth Paris title. But he went down in 1 hour, 37 minutes amid a hail of 31 crushing winners from the Muscovite's racket. Kachavanov told the crowd in Bercy Arena, saying, "To finish my season like this is a dream," explaining how Djokovic had always been an inspiration to him.
Yes.
Right, when you meet your heroes and
And
you squash them,
exactly,
yeah?
and then you play them the exact same when they play. So both of them are baseline players, and well, a number of things. I would say yes, a number of things contributed to Djokovic losing. With all due respect to Hachinov, number one was the fatigue from the day before with Federer. Federer pushed Djokovic mentally and physically. They played for 3 hours. It wasn't, and by the time they're playing, Hachinov was just in his room. Like, you guys should just drain yourselves out so I don't have to do too much work tomorrow. But the thing about Roger, because he tries a little bit of variations on most of his shots. He was not, his game was not as tidy. First set went into a tiebreaker and Roger actually had set point. Unfortunately, again, when you your shots like that, there are chances you're making the first set, right? And the third set again went into tiebreak, and you keeping your game clean was important. Secondly, every rally over 5 shots was a problem for Roger. He doesn't like all those wrong rallies. Let's just end it and go. But he played so well that he managed to test Djokovic physically. By the time Djokovic was fetching Hachanov, you could see that the stamina wasn't there, but he has a good muscle memory. And so sometimes even if his body's tired, his muscles just continue doing what they know how to do. But Hashanov played a very neat game. He served very well. Those long rallies, he was most in general coming out on top. He's a good blazer player, so he was dominant. But everything was so neat and tidy. And Djokovic, on the other hand, was struggling with, like I said, with the physical part of his game the mental fatigue, and then he was frustrated that this young boy was just beating him. So congratulations to Hachanov, your first Masters. Congratulations to Djokovic, you're now world number one. At least you're holding something. You didn't go home empty-handed.
Something like that. Okay, we've got to take a quick break. When we come back, we will continue with the sports stories inside the locker room. But I've got to take us on a break with this message from Kaede from Apapa, who says, "Welcome back, my supreme Tega no Jaife. Your girl did brilliantly well, but your next trip, I pack bag follow."
And music to me is a vehicle by which I communicate.
Oh, okay.
That you'll not be taken by surprise.
Just in case I meet someone at the airport. That's what I told you.
I informed you.
Hey. Let's be that you are unaware. Whoosh. Okay, I need the bathroom real quick. Thank God for these longer breaks now.
Listening. Oh, yes, I eventually did. Thanks. Oh, selling them.
Introducing the new Sterling One Pay, your personal mobile and internet banking solution from Sterling Bank. With Sterling One Pay, you can schedule your payments, choose things that reflect you, and even hide your balance with the panic.
I don't
The
know.
platform that's got your back. Download Sterling One Pay from the Google or Apple App Store today. There is no set road to success.
I know.
Fashion store or even how to make a dress. All I had was a dream.
Okay, I was wondering why he was there. This was the
Okay, the lineup.
no. Ranieri, the former Leicester.
The only Leicester manager to have won the Premier League.
Tanya, who is that?
Claudio Ranieri.
Oh yes, hey.
No, I was wondering why he was here. He may be getting a job soon. I want to be a coach. You're always
I
employed.
don't see them. If he's going to get a job, it's more likely if he's interested. That's what in Southampton. There are other places.
Oh, what's
but
he
not
doing
Crystal
now?
Palace.
Where is he now?
You'll see.
He's just enjoying his free time.
What's having
You
a
will see.
chillaxing time?
Is he not here? He's
Crystal
not.
Palace.
Okay.
They're not free touch. Anyway,
Everybody is touchable.
but there are vacancies. There are vacancies coming.
Okay, no, this is the wrong thing, sorry.
There are vacancies coming.
Because I'm not sure he wants to go. He won't. This Crystal Palace. I'm sure he knows why he's hanging. This guy goes to Southampton to do what? He has one league. He can't be going. Look, there are certain things on your CV that make you employed higher.
Well, Crystal Palace is kind of like in the same position right now. I mean, they're not that far away from.
Yeah,
this
but-
thing, so
But they
they're the
have
same
a,
age grade.
they have a, no. There's a WhatsApp group, but even in WhatsApp group there's admin.
Oh, you people.
So and look at this team. Look at that team. If it's you, I'll take this team any day.
Let's see. And they won that game as well, so I can't see.
Crystal Palace's problem at the moment is that they're
Liverpool
so
defeated
dependent
us
on
as learning
Salah, and he's
Tega, your
just
jazz did not work
ridiculous.
entirely.
That's not.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, not. This idea. This idea.
You know when there's a problem when Arsenal fans are celebrating a draw with Liverpool. You know there's a
Leave me
problem.
alone, leave me alone. I was like, they're going to decimate them.
I didn't say that.
Fools.
Score.
They are threatened.
I said they were going to lose. I didn't say they're going to decimate them.
You are implying decimation. I
No.
replay it
No,
on
I mean, you might
YouTube.
not have, but so many, even Arsenal fans were expecting a
You
beating.
need to see the celebrating.
Please leave us alone.
Hey, I said yes, 1-1 draw. The draw self is hustle draw. It's not like
Oh joy, we
It's
take
not-
it.
It's not to
Take it.
to take a point
We
from
will take it.
facing
We
Liverpool
will
in
take
your
it.
house.
in
we
your
will
house,
take
in fact,
it.
anywhere.
We will
anywhere.
take it.
Considering how you play, you need to clap for yourself. Generally,
13 seconds.
generally.
Studio mics are up. Yes, you are listening to Smooth 98.1, and right now it is the locker room, and later on there will be more. We've got messages that have been coming through, so let's see if we can delve into a few of them. Oh, I do like this one. Ayo says, Tega, oh yeah, analyze the Arsenal match. How did we do? Usual second half Phoenix or no? We're coming to it, don't worry. You
Yes,
just
we are.
hold on to that. Okay, Ayo, hold on to that. While Sharif Folu Aleke Akimbi from Lagos Island says, Bruta on point. The Super Falcons should forget the tag of local champion and go to the world stage and perform there. All right. Still more messages. Temi says, hey, Tega's back. I miss you, but Arsenal is still unbeaten for now.
I can sense the tongue out. That's not.
And
She forgot the
Emeka
post.
says, Folu, do you notice that since Tega came back, Arsenal have started struggling for a draw? It's okay. It's okay. We're rebuking. We're fighting against that.
Wow.
That's this thing, you understand? But let's move on to our next.
Arsenal,
next
bashing.
story.
Lionel Messi is in Barcelona squad for Tuesday's Champions League match at Inter Milan, despite fracturing his arm 2 weeks ago. The Argentine is a surprise inclusion, though his name is marked with an asterisk, saying the player travels without the medical all clear. Now, coach Ernesto Valverde said on Friday that he had not ruled Messi out of playing, but was concerned about rushing him back. Barcelona are currently top of Group B after winning all of their games in the Champions League, while opponent Inter sit in second. Their only defeats coming against the Spanish side.
Okay, here's the thing about this Messi and his fractured arm that they don't want us to hear word. Let this man heal, or this man. In fact, let me tell the two of them. Valverde, let him heal.
He's
Messi, heal.
Heal.
Just both of you.
This
Sort it out.
is very dangerous and
Yeah.
borderline unprofessional, really, what they're attempting
I
to
think
do.
I think players do the players do it themselves all the time. I think we should have a concussion. You know what they did in football, in
Yes,
American football, and they
American
made it
football.
compulsory. They should start doing it for players, because some players will have, if they're not working on stretchers, they want to play. That's how. But it's some players that actually push for it, and I think in this case, Messi is the one pushing for it. On Saturday, I think they struggled really badly, but I don't think it was a lack of Messi. It was more they had won. They had won Inter Milan, they had won Real Madrid without Messi convincingly, and they just got cocky. That's what happened. And so they let the ball, they dropped the ball. They came into the game, scored a very early goal, and it looked to them like they were going to run away with it, and they started playing, or well, they stopped playing. And then they found themselves behind with only 15 minutes left in the game, and that's when they hustled and they eventually won the game. But for me, it was a question of more overconfidence than the absence of Messi. And so I mean, even the team know that they need to do better amongst themselves. I mean, the players said themselves that they thought this was going to be a good game or an easy game for them to get the win. So they know that they're going to face Inter Milan and win without Messi. But I think Messi has sat down on the bench too long. He's like, okay, I need to play football, and I need to play it now.
You should just chill.
He's not obviously he's not going to start. And there's no guarantee he's going to play because there's an asterisk beside his name. But the fact that you keep putting him on the team, for me,
That's putting him harm's way.
yeah, just don't do it. Just tell him to go travel to Argentina. His grandfather wants to see.
It creates an undue pressure on him on the field.
Yeah, eventually. So if
You
they
know?
start struggling, 60-something minutes, you now say, okay, Messi with your one hand, go and play.
That's
No.
not right.
And someone will just just trip him. So all we need to do right now
Just
is knock
one.
this boy over.
And then he'll be out for 6 months. Then everybody will rest.
So by force, it feels a bit like when mothers say, until somebody will cry. So
Yes.
somebody will cry. That's how I
borrow.
feel. Yeah, it's cooking borrow. It's my favorite quote. Okay, let's move on now and talk about Liverpool and Arsenal due to popular demand. So James Milner believes that Liverpool must treat their draw at Arsenal as a learning curve after the Reds conceded a late equalizer at the Emirates Stadium on Saturday night. Milner said this draw is different to Chelsea, for example, so there are ups and downs and things that we can learn. To be 1-0 up in the second half and not see it out, we're disappointed. And with the chances we created, we should have scored a few more goals. It's pleasing that we are creating those chances, but we could have been a bit more ruthless and maybe not put as much pressure on ourselves not to concede to win the game.
Okay, so he makes a point, but look, the truth is that maybe to an extent they came into that game not expecting what they got from Arsenal, and to be honest, not a lot of fans, Arsenal
were
fans,
expecting
expected that sort of a performance. But my word, didn't they turn up?
She didn't.
They-
She didn't expect it.
I never expected, but I'm so
I'll
happy.
say that.
Honestly, and prior to this, I'd been tweeting since I'd been doing some tweets periodically since Emery arrived, saying that especially with the way Arsenal had defended in previous games coming up to this, that this game against Liverpool would be a true test
Yes.
of how much progress
They've
have made.
actually made
And
as a
look,
team.
let's not begrudge them. They passed a litmus test on Saturday.
Please, I hope all of you are listening to
They
Brutalistics,
did
because this is
pass
rare.
a litmus
This is
test.
rare.
It was a collectively disciplined defensive performance from the team. The backline excelled itself. Sead Kolasinac was playing his first game since he's been out in injury. He did creditably well. I think Emery picked the right type of lineup. Just as much as Milner thinks that Liverpool could have scored many goals. To be fair, very early on, surprisingly, Arsenal had their best first half performance since the season started against Liverpool. They could have run away with the game very easily in the first half. They had the good fortune of an offside call going in their favor. The jury is still out on whether that's right or wrong, but they rode their luck. It was a good performance from the team, and you could see the body language of the manager, of the fans in the stadium, even when they went a goal down, and that's something that's been consistent since Emery came against Manchester City. Even though they were losing, the fans were happy with the performance. Against Chelsea, they lost, but nobody was begrudging them a bad performance. So body language, a change. It's a breath of fresh air for Arsenal.
You can see the mentality has shifted.
Quick one on Liverpool. They perform creditably well. I've noticed a change in the way they play. They are not gung-ho with their pressing like they used to be. They've become a little bit more measured, a little bit more solid defensively. And that's key for a team that has title ambitions. Whether they have lost something, I feel like they've lost a little bit of their is it je ne sais quoi? There's something that's missing about their
I'm from Wario. I don't know what people are saying. Say it to me, Robo.
Because that pressing intensity has lost them the ability to win the ball higher up the pitch and quickly transition into attacking football and creating scoring opportunities.
Yes.
But that said, defensively, they've sorted out those problems. Alisson Becker, a little bit of some question marks about the way he's very enthusiastically rushing out. But overall, it was a compelling game, and points won fairly for both sides.
All right, messages are coming in. Andrew, let me read this in the way that I know Andrew wrote this message. Sorry, just give me a second. Did you see my boys on Saturday? Super tough.
Oh, please.
Tega and Brita did not give us a chance against Liverpool, but we showed that Arsenal is on a resurgence. Unai is doing great things, especially with the mentality of the team. Even Klopp admitted to this during his post-match interview. Top 4 guaranteed. Come on, you Gunners.
When you start celebrating a draw at home, you will know that your condition is critical.
We've got messages coming in that says, did the analysts really watch this match? After a clean goal was ruled offside. Yeah, we spoke about that. We did talk about that.
Tony from Coca said, I saw that draw coming. Arsenal, Liverpool.
All right.
Yeah, they saw it coming. And Caesar says, Gunners surprised me. Wow. Because I did not give them any chance, but whatever the coach tells us or gives our own Iwobi, thumbs up for the coach.
Wow. Okay. So now we came about Iwobi very quickly. And he says, to Folu, we take the Liverpool game as a win. Let's celebrate. But P.S. I do share Bruta's Arsenal commentary. We need to make an advert out of it. Yes, please save it, keep it, treasure it in your heart and spirit. Let's move on to the next story.
We may need to take a
No, we do not.
We do not. All right. So let's go on about PSG. So Gianluigi Buffon believes the Paris Saint-Germain are not ready to win the Champions League as he prepares to make his European debut with the club against Napoli and play his first game in Italy since leaving Juventus. In his words, Buffon said in an interview, to achieve certain successes, we need a path, a project, a management, a team that have known each other for a long time. PSG have been renewed in recent years and need time. Buffon said Lionel Messi's Barcelona and Juventus, who bought Portuguese star Cristiano Ronaldo last summer, were the favourites.
Okay, the jury is still out on Barcelona with that defense. There's some questions about championships. Juventus, if you ask me, seem the most likely at this point in time, but I always have my reservations about Allegri. So which leads me to what he's saying. First of all, this is not a very good advert for a game you want to play tomorrow. I mean, you're starting tomorrow and you're not telling us you're not ready, so we should just all not watch the match. But he's right. PSG are not ready to win the Champions League. You look at their last game where they managed to come away with a 2-2 draw. There's a struggle there. There's the up front. There is no real leadership. So it's a couple of boys trying a lot of flicks and tricks, and fortunately for them, they can score. And there are games that you need some kind of leadership to say, let's have this focus, let's have this strength, and they don't have that. Even defensively, Thiago Silva is not the most emphatic person, so he leads by playing his best, and that sometimes you need to be able to be a John Terry to yell at your players and say hold the formation, and they don't have that person. So because they have a few talented young boys, and on the bench is not the coach that I would trust to win me championships in Europe. I really agree with Buffon. He knows what it is to win, and so he knows that he can't see that quality in that team. I agree with him. PSG are not ready to win. They will entertain us, but I don't think.
Well, up next, Thorgan Hazard netted twice as Borussia Mönchengladbach climbed to second place in the Bundesliga table, pushing Bayern Munich down to third. Wow. After a 3-0 victory over Fortuna Düsseldorf on Sunday, defending champions Bayern dropped one place after being held to a 1-1 draw at home to Freiburg on Saturday, leaving Munich 4 points behind the leaders Borussia Dortmund, who they face away in a crunch clash next Saturday.
Another manager sack watch.
Things are changing.
Exactly. Who is going to be sacked first, Niko Kovac or Luke Walton? In fact, that's what we are going to be betting on right now, because it is such a horrible display that Bayern has put up. And what made matters worse, I think this was a very terrible thing to do because, well, then again, she has an entitled husband, so she can be entitled sometimes. But Thomas Müller's wife, immediately after the game, puts up on Twitter that, so all of a sudden the coach had a small brain activity when he put her husband on the match just 12 minutes to the end. So that's what she tweeted, that so a brainwave suddenly hit you that you were able to put Thomas on.
Wow.
I kid you not. She eventually deleted the tweets, but we all know that she's already there. So not just the players whispering behind the coach's back, but even their spouses are criticizing the coaches on social media. I don't know where Kovac is going to get his break from, but if he's going to keep his job, he needs to start winning. Or I can bet he's out.
All right, so
All right, let's round up with messages. Ibrahim Hassan up on our live stream says, how about Tega? Arsenal would have taken Liverpool to the cleaners. Except it's not the same match we watched.
It's not the same match.
that just sums it up.
And we've got Jacob from Apapa sending in this one.
Jacob said, you sow what you reap. Let Liverpool feel the way Chelsea felt when Daniel Sturridge scored the late minute goal against Chelsea. What goes around?
This is a paid Chelsea fan.
And then he said Shaka was superb for Arsenal in that match.
Yeah, he
thank
was.
you. Biggie from KC says, this is what I'm talking about. Arsenal has strong support. We, the fans, have for decades. I cannot deal. He says, but Brutalistics is muddying them with grammar. Kelechuku Lacazette did a finishing that you can't see. A goal by Johnson. Tega, we're coming for you. I'm not really sure what that really meant,
So you
but
can't
thank
see
you.
me.
Okay, they see me. Okay, yeah, well, we understand. Victor Asai says PSG that cannot beat Napoli. They can only bark in France. If Man City catch them, Wow.
Whoa.
Rainmaker says Arsenal fans will have mouth for a while. It has not been easy for them.
Thank you, my brother.
Celebrating draw at home, like it will make them automatically qualify for Europa finals.
It's okay.
By the way, Taga, should we remind them that January is just a few weeks away?
No, let's just wait till the January
Their
comes.
form always drops in January and February every season.
That's nice. Rasha's still on beta for now. I want you to calm down. We've got tweets as well coming through. Let's see if we can get one or two of these in just before we officially round up this morning. Lekon QD says Tega is back. No more Chelsea match analysis. Crying face. Why do you say it like that now? What does that mean? No, it's unjust. Okay, on that note, we're done with Sports Inside the Locker Room. A big thank you to Tega. Please join her on her handle. She's at Tega Supreme. You can continue a myriad of sports conversations with her up there. And if you'd like to join Brutalistics as well to see if you actually watch the same match as him, find him at Brutalistics. Yes. Coming up next on Smooth Breakfast with Valentine and myself,
Folu.
we are opening up the phone lines for you to call inside of Lagos Talks 981. So save this number. This is the only number you can dial. It is
0144899981.
Good Morning Lagos.
Mommy can't
All right. Good job, guys.
Well done.
Thank you very much. Careful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
No problem at all. Now let's go get paid.